Why are liberals angry at Christianity? You wouldn't think they would be. Christianity has been the single greatest force for human rights in history.
Was the most popular news anchor on cable television fired for being Christian? Stay tuned as we figure out the details of this shocking event. Here on the Christian Truth Channel, one of the biggest stories in politics and media is that Fox News fired Tucker Carlson for reasons we're still unclear about.
Christianity is the reason we don't have slavery and segregation and children working in factories. Christians did that.
Millions of people are still reacting to the top-rated cable host of all time being fired on Monday, April 24th, 2023.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. You often hear people say the news is full of lies. At the most basic level, the news you consume is a lie of the stealthiest and most insidious kind. Facts have been withheld on purpose, along with proportion and perspective. You are being manipulated.
Tucker's firing was totally unexpected. It happened at the very height of his popularity, where 3 million viewers tuned in to Fox News at 8 p.m. every night to watch him.
So modern liberals hate Christianity not because it's repressive, but because they are. Any religion that puts God before government is by definition a threat to their power. Most offensive of all, Christianity specifically rejects their most cherished dogma, which is racial hierarchy. The Christian message is the opposite of the equity agenda. Christianity describes a universal brotherhood of man, every person created in God's image and therefore, for that reason, morally equal.
Commentators and political pundits are trying to figure out what motivated Fox to let go of their cash cow news anchor. Some say it had something to do with the Dominion lawsuit, where Dominion Voting Systems sued Fox News over election fraud claims. Dominion were awarded $787 million in damages, but that doesn't really make sense as a reason to fire Carlson. Other hosts on Fox went much further in their claims of election fraud than Tucker Carlson did. Why do they still have their jobs? Tucker Carlson doesn't have a sexual harassment suit like Bill O'Reilly does. Plus, that would be completely out of character for Tucker. And it's not like Carlson was planning to leave Fox. On Friday, April 21st, 2023, Tucker signed off his show, telling his audience he'd see them on Monday.
We'll be back on Monday. In the meantime, have the best weekend with the ones that you love, and we'll see you then.
Tucker obviously thought he'd still be on the air the following week. So what happened? Why did Fox let go of America's favorite news anchor? Christians are asking if his religion had something to do with it. Was Tucker's Christian faith a problem for media mogul Rupert Murdoch? Murdoch operates and controls Fox Corporation, as well as News Corporation, the parent company of the Wall Street Journal, HarperCollins, and the New York Post. Is there evidence that Tucker's career was martyred for the sake of Jesus Christ?
We believe that victories were permanent. They're not, of course. That's the first lesson of history. Nothing is permanent.
A story that came out of Vanity Fair reports that Rupert Murdoch apparently had dinner with Murdoch's then-fiancée and her favorite host, Tucker Carlson. At the dinner table, Murdoch's fiancée brought out a Bible. Reportedly, she said, "Oh, Tucker, I think you're a messenger from God. I just love your show. I think you're really standing up for the right thing. You're standing up for God." After that dinner, Rupert Murdoch apparently broke off this engagement.
I'm coming to you from the most humble and lowly theological position you can. I'm literally an Episcopalian, okay?
Then Tucker gave a speech at the Heritage Foundation's 50th anniversary gala on Friday night, April 21st, the last night he was on the air as a Fox News anchor. At the Heritage Foundation gala, Tucker's Christian heart was beating true. Tucker began his speech thanking Father Paul Scalia, who had given the opening invocation. Tucker said, "I want to thank you, Father Scalia, wherever you are." That invocation for some reason really got me. And actually, I'll just tell you, since it's just us and no one watching, that it reminded me that I don't pray enough for the country, and I should. I'm upset about the current state of our nation, but the answer is to include the country in our prayers. So thank you for reminding us of that. Tucker thought no one was watching, but everyone, including Murdoch and his media tycoons, was watching, and they were taking note. In his speech, Tucker said that he no longer believed that America's political fight is between one political position and another. Carlson said that he's now beginning to think this is clearly a fight between good and evil. About his church, he chided, "Even being an Episcopalian, a fairly shallow tradition these days, I recommend you all take 10 minutes out of your day to say a prayer for the future of our country."
This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country, tears of thee."
It's time to realize, I think, that we need God more than He needs us.
In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Tucker's heart seems to long for a deeper tradition, a closer relationship with God, and a devoted prayer life. According to news reports and according to Vanity Fair, that's what got Tucker fired. The fact that he said in a big speech that people should pray for our country. People also speculate that Tucker's observation that humanity is in a battle between good and evil made the media magnates who own mainstream media pretty anxious. When the most popular news anchor on TV gets up on stage and says, "There's a counterbalance to the badness. It's called goodness, and you see it in people. Once you say one true thing and stick with it, all kinds of other true things occur to you. The truth is contagious. The second you decide to tell the truth about something, you are filled with this power from somewhere else. Try it. Tell the truth about something. The more you tell the truth, the stronger you become. That's completely real. It's measurable in the way that you feel." Listening to Tucker describe being filled with this power, are we reminded of Pentecost?
Tell the truth about something. You feel it every day. The more you tell the truth, the stronger you become. That's completely real. It's measurable in the way that you feel.
Well, Tucker saying all that was a bridge too far. He called out the lying liars who lie. Tucker spoke the truth. In this fallen world that is governed by the principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places. In this fallen world where we're not allowed to read the Bible in schools, kids can be assigned pornographic stories about gay sex. Adult books are available in the grammar school library, yet we're not allowed to talk about God, good and evil, or say what we believe to be true about the nature of human beings.
We're fighting this war against the other side, of course. But it did not logically follow from that at Heritage that you could say whatever you wanted. Just because the other side was rotten didn't mean you could be rotten. They really hewed to the highest standards of factual accuracy, intellectual honesty. They really meant it. They did. And even if you didn't agree with them, they were very serious about it. They were intellectually serious people.
After reviewing these shocking facts, Tucker being fired for his Christian worldview seems like the most plausible explanation. Conservative political pundit Glenn Beck seems to be backing up that claim as well. Beck worked at Fox for a long time as a highly rated host and commentator. Beck said from what he knows of Rupert Murdoch, that theory about Tucker rings true. Talking about God on the air deeply bothers Murdoch. Glenn Beck was specifically told to stop using the word God on the air. Beck, a conservative, asked, "Without God, what are we conserving? What is conservatism without God? What is the right without God?" We know as conservative Christians we are supposed to be defending justice. We're supposed to be defending a prosperous, flourishing country. We want a strong economy. But more than that, we want family values. We want to defend the faith. We want to defend what's right. We don't need to defend God. God doesn't need us to defend him, but it would be good for us to be on God's side.
What you're watching is not a political movement, it's evil.
Christians must remember that a nation that turns away from God doesn't turn out very well. The people who founded our country, going back even before the American Revolution, going back all the way to the Mayflower and Massachusetts colony, viewed America as a shining city on a hill. They viewed America as a Christian country that would look toward God. America still has In God We Trust on our money.
Maybe we should all take just like 10 minutes a day to say a prayer about it. I'm serious. Why not? And I'm saying that to you not as some kind of evangelist. I'm literally saying that to you as an Episcopalian.
Yet Rupert Murdoch, the head of the conservative media, says don't talk about God. He fired Fox's top-rated news host for talking about God. If we can't talk about God, then we don't have that power center. We don't have the foundation of the values expressed in the United States Constitution. Without God, we are simply not conservative. Tucker is right. Politics seems to be a fight between good and evil. What side are we on?
What you're watching is not a political movement, it's evil.
Since his firing, Carlson has hinted at his future plans. On Twitter, in his first public remarks since departing Fox, he voiced concern about the lack of discussions taking place about the undeniably big topics that will define our future. What could those be? In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, we're reminded, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Isaiah chapter 1 verse 17 reminds us that when we stand up for others, we are standing up for what is right. When we stand up against evil, we are standing up for justice. When we stand up for justice, we are standing up for God and His course. People often stand up for others. Tucker Carlson had the courage to act in defense of his beliefs, of our beliefs, in defense of prayer and goodness. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verses 4 through 5, we read, "The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." Tucker Carlson asks us to spend 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, praying for our country. God bless you, Tucker, and God bless America.
And even I have concluded it might be worth taking just 10 minutes out of your busy schedule to say a prayer for the future, and I hope you will.